Joining me today, Sydney Odowichuk. Sydney, from the comfort of your own home, how does it feel being at home and not at school right now?
Well, it's different. I'm at my cabin, actually. Didn't really want to go back to Winnipeg.
So where's the cabin then?
Just 9 at Manitoba,
Okay.
right on Pelican Lake. Yeah, so lots of outdoors, some stuff to do, but it's still a little chilly here, so can't do too much.
We're not at that temperature where we can go out and play for long periods of time. You said the outdoors. What has been great about being in the outdoors and not being trapped in Winnipeg that excited you to go to the cabin instead of being at home?
Well, I can ice fish, or could before the season ended. My brother's out here as well, so I got to spend lots of time with him, as I didn't really get to do that during the season because he was out in Saskatchewan playing, and then I was in Pilot Mound, so we didn't see each other that often. But we've just been doing some odd jobs around the cabin, mostly outdoor work, and yeah.
That's pretty amazing when you consider that, you have that opportunity to spend time with your brother and being another hockey player. How much did you look up to him growing up?
A lot, yeah. He was probably one of my biggest influences in playing hockey and like wanting to get to that next level, because he always pushed me more than anyone else, and he always had my back with everything I did.
That's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about what your normal day-to-day function is now. I mean, obviously you're not at school, but I'm sure your teachers are keeping track of what you're doing and what you're handing in terms of marks or assignments, right?
Yeah. So my day-to-day life is I'll wake up fairly early because I don't really like sleeping in here. I'll go grab my laptop, do probably like an hour or so of like homework, then have breakfast, and then hang out for a bit, and then get back to more homework to make sure like all my assignments are in. And if I have any questions, my teachers allow me to email them, and I'll keep in contact with them. So yeah, I don't do too much.
You know what you're doing, from what it sounds like. I mean, if you had to pick up a hobby right now, I would assume photography might be up there, only considering how beautiful sunsets and sunrises are, and the animals and everything you see in and around the change of season. Wouldn't that be? It's pretty amazing you have that opportunity.
Yeah, like before the ice started getting really thin, I would take my dog on the lake and throw her a ball and shoot a run, and I'd just take pictures of her running.
That's so cool. What kind of dog do you have, or dogs?
German Shepherd Husky, and then our friend who we're communal living with they have a northern mix, so more of a mutt.
Okay. Do they get along okay?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
My dog grew up with their dog. Like, when we first got my dog, the first dog she ever met was our friend's dog. So they've grown up together, basically best friends.
That's awesome. So are you, as a student, I have to ask this question, do you enjoy learning online, or would you rather be in a classroom amongst friends? And obviously socializing is part of it, but the learning aspect, you feel like, you sound like you're an independent learner, Sydney, that's able to take the assignment, the task at hand, and get it complete.
Well, I prefer being in a classroom because it's easier to ask questions and like discuss with my classmates about the topic we're working on. But if it's to get work done on time, I'm better working like just by myself, because I don't get distracted by my friends.
I hear you. So the distractions would definitely be, obviously for teenagers, would be a plus and a minus when it comes to getting work done. Let's talk about, let's switch from the academic side to the more athletic side of things. Sydney, when you were growing up, was it always hockey, or was it always another sport as well? Now that we're in the off season, did you pick up a different stick or a different set of sports while you weren't playing hockey growing up?
Well, my parents always had this rule that I had to be in at least one winter sport and one summer sport, but I could be in multiple of each if I chose. So I grew up playing hockey as my winter sport, and then I also did dance. I did 2 different kinds, and that would be from it would pretty much be the same as a hockey season, but extends till June. So it was the entire like school year. So I did that, and then for a couple of years I played softball and soccer, but hockey kind of took up all the room for that.
No doubt. What did you take most from the other sports you played that made your hockey game that much better?
Well, from like dance, it was flexibility, because as a hockey player, you have to be fairly flexible. And that was definitely one thing I took from dance. But then from softball, it was hand-eye coordination, because I could hit the ball and then I'd be able to do the same with a puck if it was in the air.
Right.
So
That's great. So obviously a huge proponent to your game is cross-training, and you'd probably be one of those people that would say cross-training is an important part of developing all skills and all aspects of any sport, correct?
definitely yes.
So this year we were playing in Pilot Mound. Coach Harry was very impressed with your scoring ability, your drive to the net. One of the players that would never curl away from the net, but would put the brakes on and stay in front and get dirty. Is that probably the best part of your game or the most fun part of your game, Sydney?
Well, I do enjoy it, but I used to curl away from the net, but then one of my former coaches, he was a summer coach, he would make me do push-ups if I turned away from the net. I could score and then be all happy, but if I didn't stay at the net, it would be push-ups. So I broke that habit real fast.
You learned very quickly. That's a pretty cool story. I'm not going to ask you how many push-ups you did, but more importantly, I mean, you being one of those focal points, the offense was a bit lacking at times this year, but being one of those stalwarts throughout the year, Sydney, how important is it to have that instinct and that scoring edge and having that nose for the net?
Well, it's a big part of hockey. The only way to win is when you score. So having the drive to the net, having like the eye to see where it's open is huge. Like if you don't have it, you can learn it, you can work on it, but like for most people that have like a natural scoring ability, that just comes natural to them. It's what they want. Like they want the puck. They're hungry for it. So they'll get it. They'll go score and they'll do everything they can to help their team win.
For sure. That's a great part you bring up, because it is something you can learn. Moving forward now, this is the off season. You're enjoying the outdoors. What part of your game, Sydney, needs to improve for next year?
I think that I could improve my overall game, my speed, definitely. So right now I've been running like outdoors. When it's not too cold or snowing, since our cabin is on a hill, I would run up the hill and then run down the main road. And Coach Harry would make us do 15-minute runs in the morning every Tuesday and Thursday. So I've continued to do that to help improve my like cardio and endurance just as running. But then as well as I think I need to work on my hands and like stick handling and puck abilities. So my brother is going to help me with that because he's definitely got the hands.
So he's going to work on the dangles. You're going to work on the cardio. It sounds like a good equation for success in the new part of the season. Hopefully we see ice in the fall. We'll be right back with Sydney. We're going to get into a little bit more of a discussion under the skin with Sydney right after this. We're with the Pilot Mound Hockey-Academy show here on ASTV. Back here on the Pilot Mound Hockey-Academy show, Sydney Odowichuk from the comforts of her cabin, enjoying the outdoor life, which is pretty awesome, considering that everyone doesn't have these opportunities to explore and do things they not normally would be doing at home. Let's get a little bit under the skin with Sydney. Sydney, while you're at the cabin, what is the favorite thing you like to be enjoying dinner-wise?
Tacos. My mom makes amazing tacos, and I have been enjoying that very much. And then as well as my mom's friend is making Greek salad, and it is amazing.
Wow. So what part of the dorm didn't give out the tacos and the Greek salads like mom, correct?
Not the homemade same way. It's parent cooking. It's so much different than dorm cooking.
Not bad though, but it's different.
Yeah. It's not the same as having a home-cooked meal that's made for 5 rather than 40.
Right, no, that's true. What right now in your downtime, what are you doing that's trying to, is there a certain series you're watching, or is there a certain movie that you kind of been working on over the last little bit that you've enjoyed?
All the Harry Potter movies.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I'd have to go with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I haven't read that one in a while. Is it something where you watch the movie then read the book, or would you read the book and then watch the movie?
Well, I read all the books before I ever watched a movie, and I'm glad I did that because now I don't want to go back to the books because I like the movies.
Okay. So I'm the same way. I've read Lord of the Rings. I've read Harry Potter before the movies came out. So it was important to kind of get an idea of your imagination before somebody else put it out there on screen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So a Harry Potter fan, which house would you like to be a part of?
Gryffindor, obviously.
Obviously. Okay. Right on. If you were at Hogwarts, I'm thinking about this question on the fly. If you were at Hogwarts, would you be more of a scholastic person or more of a Quidditch player?
I don't know. The scholastic part of Harry Potter is really interesting, but then Quidditch seems like a really cool game to play. So I'd have to be in between.
You have to
I
be in
wouldn't
between.
know. Yeah.
Okay. If you had to have an owl, what color would it be?
Gray. Like a great gray owl.
Great gray owl, the smart one?
Yeah. And they're big, so it's like, whoa.
Okay. If you had to cast a spell on somebody, either a good spell, not a bad spell, we won't go down that road. If you had to cast a good spell on somebody, what would it be?
Oh, like one from actually Harry Potter, or
your own. You've got a wand. You can make one up. What would it be?
I don't know. Maybe like the spell of eternal happiness, so then they're always happy.
That's awesome. That would be a really good one to do. Now, we talked about tacos. We talked about home-cooked meals. What's the one food that you just can't stomach? Is there one?
Not really. I I'm good with all food.
Okay, very cool. What's the one class you miss at school the most?
I'd have to say biology.
Okay, it's a
Yeah.
lab proponent that's pretty important to that class, correct?
Biology, not so much.
Okay.
But chemistry, which I did last semester, there was definitely a lot of labs that would have been missed if it was this semester.
Okay. What part of the locker room do you miss most when you're not playing hockey?
Just like hanging out with the girls before a game or practice. That was fun. Everyone was just their self, and we just like trusted each other with pretty much everything. So
That's important to have, obviously. Locker room, bus rides. What place did you enjoy the most playing hockey this year, Sydney?
I really enjoyed playing in Winnipeg. It was my hometown, so I knew a lot of people that were there. I could get my friends to come out and watch, and yeah, definitely Winnipeg.
Okay. If you had to pick one place to travel, not hockey related, with your family, where would you go?
Rome, yeah.
Rome. Okay.
hmm
Why Rome?
My parents went there a while ago, and they said it was really pretty and really historic, and I like history, so I think it'd be really cool to go there.
It's a very cool place to pick. Absolutely. If you had to pick a name for a new dog, what would it be?
Oh, maybe Vega.
Okay. That's a
Our
cool name.
Yeah, our dog's name right now is Quill. We didn't name her for like 2 weeks after we got her because we didn't really know how like she would be. And then she grew up, and when she like sees other dogs, the hair on her back goes like this and looks like little quills.
A good name. There you go. My black lab was named Babe, not for the pig. And I don't know why I gave her that name, but I'll leave it at that. If you had to pick a different animal, what would you like to take care of?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like a teacup pig. Those seem really cool.
Okay. You are an outdoors person.
hmm
What part of fishing do you enjoy the most?
Uh, Probably being on the boat and just like hanging out. And if I'm with my brother, then it's really fun when we fish, because we joke around a lot as well as fish.
Yeah. You just have the one older brother?
Yeah.
And he's playing in Saskatchewan, you said, right?
Yes.
How hard was it to be away from family, or how hard is it away to be from family, knowing that you're such a family person?
It was really hard at the start, but I realized like they're a call away. I can call them at any point. It was easier being away from my parents than it was for my brother because we grew up like best friends, did everything together, and then he left the last week of August, like each summer, and that week was hard because I was like, hey, here's my brother. So
Then he takes off, he goes. Now you go down to Pilot Mound. And I asked this question, it was the last question I'll talk to you with, Sydney, about the student life. You mentioned athlete life, student life. What is it like being a student athlete at a hockey academy where you live, breathe, and sleep hockey in a rink almost 24/7 unless you're in the classroom? What was that lifestyle like?
it's great. I loved it. But what people I think don't understand is that you're a student athlete. Student is more important than the athlete aspect. If you don't have your grades up, but you want to go somewhere, you might not get there because your grades and your schooling isn't where it needs to be. So being a student athlete, you have to be really good in school as well as your sport. So you have to be able to do your homework on the road, keep up in all your classes while you're away for could be weeks, and you can't fall behind or it's hard to catch up.
How important is it to have your second family, your teammates around you when times get tough?
It's extremely important. They're always around you, and they have your back because they know you have theirs whenever they need. So having a bunch of sisters can help so much in a tough situation or in a time of need. I still keep in contact with the team because it's hard leaving them on such short notice and not seeing them, especially the grade 12s, which were some of my best friends on the team, and probably not seeing them anytime soon is a tough one.
That is a tough one. I never thought of that because, I mean, I'm not in school right now with a bunch of classmates, but knowing that you're maybe not going to see your friends that are graduating and you're keeping in touch with them. What have you guys been talking about since, we're in this interesting time, all of us?
Well, just what we're doing since we're bored. My friend Andrea, she left this season early because of her leg, but I've kept in contact with her a bit and just asked how she was doing. She got a puppy when she went home, so she sends me videos of it all the time, and that's really nice.
Very cool. I'm going to ask you this last question, Sydney, before I let you go. How important is it to have a drive and a passion and a goal when it comes to being that student first and that athlete 1B?
It's extremely important to have the drive and the passion for the sport, because that's what is going to get you to the next level. If you don't have that drive or the passion, you won't get there, because if you want to play university hockey, you're still going to school, and you have to have that drive for hockey as well as school to get through all your classes and pass all of them and do your work on the road without having a teacher with you, or being able to talk to your teacher every day because you might be on the road. So it's really important to have that drive and passion.
Sydney, what are you looking forward to most when you can finally hear or see or be around not just your family but your friends once again when everything kind of subsides?
I'm really excited to see my friends from Winnipeg that I haven't seen in a fairly long time. Yeah, I miss hanging out with them and just going to their houses and sitting in their hot tubs or going in their pool, or even just cooking with them, because a lot of my friends like to bake and cook. So we try out cool recipes that we find on the internet.
Do you have a go-to recipe that you enjoy the most?
For food or for baking?
Either or.
Oh. Well, my dad taught me how to make ginger beef. So that's I like making that
Awesome.
one.
And if you had to bake something, what are you bringing to the party?
Chocolate chip cookies.
There you go. Okay, good. Well, next time you make some chocolate chip cookies, I'll be sure to bring my little guy over. Sydney, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time. I know today's an off day, so there's no hill running. But yeah. I'm glad you're keeping to the schedule and you're keeping well and staying safe. And good luck with the rest of this school year. And we hope to see you on the ice in the fall.
Thank you.
Right on. Thank you for joining me. Sydney Odowichuk with the female varsity team, keeping busy, keeping her studies important as priority number one. here on the Pilot Mound Hockey Academy show. Thanks again, Sydney.
Yep, anytime.